Now we have Eliza with us. Thanks for joining me, Eliza. For the burnt orange tones, a palette that I'm loving at the moment is Inglot's Freedom System palettes. The great thing about this is you can custom make it to the colors and choose which eyeshadows you want in here. The great thing about the Freedom System palettes also is that if any of these little palettes fall out, break, or you simply use them all, you can replace them without replacing the whole palette. And for me, whether it's in my kit, whether it's with the children, with the bathroom floor, this is perfect palette. Same system applies to blush. So I've picked out this little one here that's got really warm orange undertone. I'm going to use that as our base for Eliza. As you can see, I've prepped Eliza's face. We've gone for a really bronzed, illuminated skin look with a little bit of highlighter in certain areas, and we're going to complement that with the eyeshadow and the blush. So just with a buffing brush, I'm going to sweep this across the whole eye. So as the base, I'm going to apply this to the center of Eliza's eyes and buff it right into the eyebrows. So you kind of can't see where it begins and where it ends. I'm going to do that to both sides using this warm, beautiful blush as your base. And the good thing with doing this, we want to make the process as simple as possible. So when you use a blush, you don't have to go and buy another product to use as the base. That's what I love about using, whether it's lipstick, whether it's blush, on that area. It's quite subtle, and it's a nice way just to begin the burnt orange look. Then I'm going to intensify that by adding the more warmer tone, which I've custom made in this palette. I'm going to pop it directly over it. I think it's key to add it in the areas that you want. With makeup, don't be scared. It doesn't need to be applied to your whole face. Just like foundation, you need to apply it to your whole face. Just apply it where you want to create that depth. And this color, the great thing with Inglot's shadows is it's so pigmented. As soon as you pop it on, if you want it to stay and you want to get more pigment, you can even press it on with your finger. And what happens with that is you don't lose any of it in any free fall with the brush, and it's quite easy to do in front of a mirror at home. So I like to sometimes actually add it with my finger and then buff it in later. I'm just going to go actually more closer to the nose and where the inner eyebrow starts. A lot of the time we don't go that far in, but because I do want this orange to pop, it just depends how intense you would like it. I'm going to do it a bit more intense. So I'm going to bring it further in. If your eyes are set closer together, I would probably recommend just adding it to the inner corners. So now I'm going to apply it to the under eye as well. And I think with any of the shadows, when you are doing this color block kind of looks, it's really important not to leave it top heavy. Like anything, you need balance. So it just depends what shape you're wanting to go with the eye. If you're wanting a more natural look, obviously you don't add as much shadow and you would only apply a very thin layer. Probably avoid using your fingers. For this, I am going to go a little bit stronger, and I'm going to add other dimensions to it to begin with. But as our base, I'm just going to smudge it all the way in and then just lightly blend it in the inner eye. So a good thing too is if you have with this kind of eye and this palette, the great thing about it is if you tend to go a little bit too more on the burnt orange side and you want to tone it back a bit, it's never too late, or you never have to get scared. You can either add a little bit of concealer or else get a more transitional color like these two here and just buff it in to the burnt orange, and what happens, it will lessen the effect, so you don't have to have such a bright orange if you want to get that a little bit less. See straight away the difference. So it's never too late. Have fun with the makeup, don't be scared, and also use different colors to mix the perfect shade that you're after. So we're going to go in with one of the darker shades in the chocolate brown, just to add a little bit more intensity. Always do that with your eyes looking forward. I think one key lesson that I learned quite early on, always apply eyeshadow with your eyes open. Don't close one eye and have the other one open, or vice versa, because you really can't see the shape of your eye and how it's going to look. And you know, 90% of the time our eyes are open. So it's quite important to see where your socket is, what kind of shape you're going for. If you're wanting it higher, you can go towards the eyebrow. If you're wanting it more elongated, go towards the edge of the eyebrow. With Eliza's, we're going to do a little bit of both. I'm just going to do it quite high, but also wing it right out. The great thing with this eyeshadow palette is, and these colours, you don't need to use any eyeliner. Because of the colours being brown and orange, you can just get that perfect intensity using purely eyeshadows. So we're heading towards the end of the look now, the beautiful sunset eye, one of my favourites. So we're just going to finish it off with Inglott's Lash Enhancer Mascara. What you can also do to increase the intensity is just getting a flat brush and pressing it on whatever colour, whether it be a bit of the shimmer. I'm going to mix these two here. You can also add some water to these shadows and they'll come across even stronger and more pigmented. And if you just place it along the lash line, it almost works like an eyeliner without having to get an eyeliner. So just be careful for any free fall. And if you just open, you can see that it just gives that little bit more of intensity near the lash line.